Hey, listen, this is the one. Hey, I know y'all been waiting on this. Right into it. Listen, the GED, all right? GED, bare minimum, or a high school diploma, for sure. You gotta have this. There's no way around it. You gotta have a GED or diploma if you can stand on getting the rest of these steps done, okay? We jumping into it. Next, you gotta have a whip. Absolutely. You can't be relying on your friends, your cousins, your baby mama, your dad, whatever it is, all right? You absolutely gotta have transportation. There's no way around it because you never know where the job is gonna be at, okay? GED, high school diploma, car. Now let's get into the real, you know what I'm saying, the real stuff that you need, okay? So listen, after that, next, OSHA 10, okay? These are the steps that you need, bare minimum, if you don't know nothing about nothing on how to get in the oil and gas industry. Oil and gas, right here, right here. So OSHA 10, guys, so what this is, the OSHA 10 is something you could sign up for. It's a basic introduction into safety. You're gonna learn about a little about confined spaces, fire watching, not so much trenching, but again, you're gonna learn about edges, being tied off 6 feet. Again, you don't know nothing about what this means, but this is all the bare minimum. You have to get the OSHA 10, okay? Now, here's where it really gets tricky, right? Let's get into it. High hazard training. Now, it depends on what part of the country you're in, but for the most part, it's gonna be what's called an RSO, Refinery Safety Orientation. This is a certification that you absolutely, positively need to have, okay? RSO, Refinery Safety. Now check this out. If you're one of the lucky ones that live in these few cities, okay, you absolutely have no excuse. Now I got 2 parts to this, what I'm about to talk about. The Bay Area. Tell me when to go. You have an RSO center, Refinery Safety Orientation. There's a RSO center in the Bay Area. I don't know exactly, guys, okay? You gotta have to do that yourself, but it's a in the Bay Area of refinery orientation class, okay, in the Bay. That's 1. 2, if you live in Southern California, I know where that one's at. It's in Carson, Southern California, Carson, California. You can, it's called OSHA, okay? OSHA, I think it's OSCA. You can get your refinery safety training and your high hazard. It's gonna be a 3-day class, and it's not in any particular order. It's not that you have to go Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It just depends on how they are. They're extremely busy. Your high hazard class, I believe, is 8 hours, and then another random class is like 5, and I think another one is like maybe 3 or 2 hours, right? So it really depends on how busy they are. For the most part, they're always busy. And then here's a catch-22 that you guys might not know about. Houston, Texas. It's called the Safety Council. Why is this important? They're 2 different entities, okay? You have your RSO Refinery Safety and then your Houston Safety Council. Now, what's cool about your Houston Safety Council is that this is the only certification that's transferable to the RSO Refinery Safety class that they hold in California. Now, there's another flip side to that too that's pretty cool. All your other refineries, like I believe it's there's an Exxon Mobil in Montana, you got BP Accordis in Washington State, you've got there's a P66 in New Jersey, all these refineries and stuff. Most 90% of these refineries in the country abide by the Houston Safety Council and your California RSO. So what that means is that if you're able, my eyes itching, it's crazy. If you're able to get these certifications, you won't have to take it anywhere else. So if you live in the Houston area, Southern California, or the Bay Area, you can just go and take these classes. Now, another part of that is signing up for the union. If you get into any of the unions that are in these big cities that have refineries, okay, they're gonna put you through these classes. So it's not so hard to where you have to do all this digging and stuff to try to find out how do you get in the oil refinery, right? So if you go that route, out and you join a union hall, which again, this is why I promote on this channel, which I highly suggest is the one of the smartest ways and the fastest way to get in the oil and gas industry. Go through the union hall. But again, if not, which for the most part is going to be for most of my guys down in the Louisiana area and the Texas area, Mississippi and all that, right here. Most of those guys are going to go to Houston and get your safety counsel. All right. Now, here is something else, okay? You have to be ready to be prepared to work a lot of hours. That's just how oil and gas is, all right? The only guys that are working 40 hours are on maintenance contract. They're the guys that are at the refinery every day. But for the most part, you're gonna be working 12, 10s, 6 and 7 days a week for the most part, all right? This is where the money comes in. This is why you guys click this video to find out, how the heck do I get in the oil field? How do I get in? Now, I'm gonna make a part 2 of this because you guys, if you guys don't know, you'll see and you'll look outside, you'll see these guys driving these big old diesel trucks, these pickup trucks, and they've got welding machines on the back. Yes, they are in the oil and gas field, but pipeline, that's not where Dave comes from. I come from the oil refineries. Now, the pipeline, it's a totally different entity. Yes, it is oil and gas, but it's just hard to explain. It is, but it isn't, right? It's just a totally different way that they work. They have those guys that have welding machines on their trucks. They got their own insurance and they've got a whole set of rules. I'm not gonna get into that, right? I'm gonna get into that in another video, but these steps are for my guys and gals that want to get in the oil refineries with the bare minimum of no knowledge, no nothing. All right, listen, like I said, all right, GED or a high school diploma. You gotta have wheels. Come on, guys, I'm just saying, you gotta have transportation. At the minimum, you have to have your OSHA 10 to begin with, straight up. And then again, if you're in the Houston area or Texas, you gotta have the Houston Safety Council. Or if you're on the West Coast, you gotta have your RSO, Refinery Safety Orientation. And again, the two intermingle together. Or if you go and join the union hall in a city that has an oil refinery, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be the ones that have the contract that works at the oil refinery, so you don't have to worry about all this. You'll do all the training at the union hall itself, all right? So y'all thought I was done? Nope, this is the one y'all been waiting for. Dave, me, I stay true to it. And you know, I love you guys on this channel, but hey, it is what it is. There's one other thing working in refineries that you guys might not be aware of. Yeah, this is it. You're gonna have to listen, y'all. It's just a Cleveland show, Cleveland Browns joke, okay? If you watch the Cleveland show, he shaved his beard and mustache and his voice changed.
It's just gone. Your voice. My mustache must have provided a natural feel.
I'm sorry, it is what it is. If you get in the oil and gas industry, clean shaven for sure. And listen, it is what it is, right? Best thing that came out of the pandemic, you had to wear a mask, you got to hide it. Guys were wearing masks. Most guys in our field, we don't do that stuff anyway. But in the pandemic, guys had on masks and they could hide their 5 o'clock shadow or their beard. But yes, if you want to get in the oil and gas field, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to be clean shaven. Why did I not say 10 out of 10? There is one exception, but the exception does not make the rule. Chevron. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy. I've worked at Shell Fort Saskatchewan, Chevron El Segundo, P66 in Jersey, Pascagoula, what is that? Channelview, Texas. All these refineries all over the country. There's 66 in Chicago. I'm telling you, Chevron, I know this sounds crazy. If you work at Chevron, you do not have to be clean shaving, with the exception if you are a foreman or some type of management. Yes, you get away with it. Now, obviously, if you got to go under fresh air, yeah, you got to get rid of it. But again, that's the 1 out of the 9 out of 10, okay? Most refineries, you got to be clean shaven for the most part. I know if y'all don't believe me, I'm telling you, there's some guys in the comments that have probably worked at a Chevron gonna tell you the same thing. Like, yo, I did not have to cut my beard off. I'm telling you, it sounds crazy. This right here, hey, I know what it is. This can ruin relationships, man. Kids won't recognize you, your own kids, all of that. It's just part of it. I know, guys, but you got to be clean shaven. Now, the last one, TWIC, Twic card. This will give you a big start for anything if you get your Twic card. That is the last step in trying to get in the oil and gas field. Now, not every refinery do you need a Twic card, TWIC. Pretty much any power plants or oil refineries that touch the water, that are off of the water, you gotta have a Twic card. The Twic office is, you're gonna have to Google Twic office. They're not everywhere, okay? If you Google Twic office and one comes up that's, 2 miles away from you, it's probably right. If you Google Twic office and there's one that says it's 220 miles away from you, it's probably right. Obviously, make sure you call to find out that it is open and that they're taking appointments, but it's easy, guys. All you have to do is call and say, hey, I want an appointment to get my Twic card. You apply. I can't remember the price. It's either somewhere between $135 and $150, but you apply for that. Now, if you are a felon, you can still apply. They will deny you. Don't worry about it. Just what is it called? Oh, just apply for an appeal. It might take a few months or whatever, but they'll give it to you, okay? They're gonna deny you the first time though if you have any type of sometimes misdemeanors. If you're felons, they will deny you, but you will get it. I know this from experience. I'm sorry, guys. I had a misdemeanor, a couple of them, whatever it is. Hey, I travel on the road, right? But I had a misdemeanor. They sent it back. I applied for the approval or whatever, and I got my Twic card, right? So listen, guys, Twic card, OSHA 10, you gotta have wheels. You gotta have a GED or a diploma. If you're on the West Coast, you can get your California RSO, or if you're down south in Texas, you can get your Houston Safety Council. Better yet, like I push, you get into your local union that is in a city that has refineries. They will train you and you will have the same certs. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is that if you go to your Houston Safety Council or you go to the refinery RSO class and you want to do it on your own, yes, you are gonna have to pay for them. I believe it's somewhere between, I don't think it's no more than $200, I think, for 3 days. And then obviously, if you're out of town, you're gonna have to pay for the cost and all that stuff, hotel, whatever. But again, these are the bare minimum things that you can purchase on your own time if you're serious about getting to the oil refinery, right? So if you get these certs, you'll be more favorable when you go to apply to these jobs, because most of the time, if you don't have anything and you go to a company, if you're not union and you go to a company, they're gonna say, hey, do you have any certs? Do you have your RSO, your safety council, your Twic card? You ain't got nothing. They're just gonna go down the list and call somebody else. So pay attention to this video, rewind it back, rewind it forward, skip it, whatever. If you got this far, hey, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys staying locked in on the channel, man. Everything here is authentic, it's real. I know. Hey, I did it for y'all. It is what it is. It'll grow back. I can't grow a full beard anyway, so that's all I got, man. So, hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in to 6 to 6. It's your boy, Industrial Dave. Have an industrious day.